He is such a very clearly faithful man.
He makes it seem like God is like something that's inside of you and it's inside your classmates.
I learned a lot more about my faith just in my 4 years at Jesuit. I think more from him than even the classes than I did in all of the years before.
I think they should know how important Mass is to Mr. Clarke and how important the Eucharist is and how much that brings Jesuit together.
I'm really fortunate that the community doesn't back down from from this place being a Catholic institution. For us, our blessing is that it is pretty widely known that you just don't miss Mass. If a pastor could say to their high schoolers, you can go to Mass with 800 of your closest friends, then those high schoolers would even go to the 7 o'clock in the morning Mass if that's where they knew everyone was going to show up. So we've added freshman overnight retreat and then had to make 2 of them, and the same thing, the sophomore overnight retreat just exploded.
That he will listen to you no matter what's going on. Kind of one thing that I liked about Jesuit when I started looking at it was the whole campus ministry idea, because I came from a public school where there was nothing about spirituality or faith.
He will tell you what he's thinking, definitely. You know that he's cares about you enough to be able to tell you what he thinks is good for you or important and stuff. He'll definitely try to get more involved in the Catholic Church as a whole.
He's lighthearted, he makes things more he you know the importance of them, but he also kind of has a good time with you.
He understands what the Catholic Church is teaching, and he knows also what his population here is at Jesuit. And he's made a lot of things more digestible.
I follow the words of Pope Francis when he talks about the new evangelization. His first concern is to welcome with warmth. If you don't show up for your students' lives, they will not show up for anything you propose. So they want to know if you're at the game. They want to know if you're at their play. They want to know if you've heard about something that they're doing. The biggest change that I've seen is that parents now are not going to church. So when they wrestle with their kids about going to church on Sunday, the student will look at them and say, but you don't go, so why should I be? I work in a building named after Pedro Arrupe, and in 1973 he wrote and spoke about what it means to be a man or a woman for others. And I remember reading that in college, and when I started reading it, I was one person, and when I finished reading it, I was another person.
I would go back to the importance of the Eucharist that he's shown me. Just going to Mass on my parish on Sundays, I have a whole different mindset and view of that for me personally.